Hi, I'm Amber from Amber's Craft Week blog, and welcome back to the Hey Day Challenge, where we go through the book Hey Day and do various activities relating to some of the pages. So for today's activity, we are going to be making fake blood. The authors write, "Hey, we're gearing up for Valentine's Day. See, Valentine's Day is a particularly good day to play the part of a freshly bitten vampire." And anyone who has followed my craft blog for any length of time knows that I usually do zombies for Valentine's Day, so fake blood, that works perfectly fine. To get the look, all you need is a little blood, fake of course. Here are two recipes that you can concoct quickly and, more importantly, painlessly. So they give one recipe for an older cakier blood, and then they also give a recipe for fresh blood. We're going to try doing the older cakier recipe from their book. And then I have another recipe for fake blood that I'm going to try out for the fresher fake blood. Now the older cakier blood recipe requires 2 ingredients, toothpaste and red food coloring. They have a specific kind of toothpaste in mind, close-up clear red toothpaste. I did not have this on hand, but I do have a toothpaste that's clear, so I figured I'd try this. Now they want us to use like the entire tube of toothpaste and half an ounce of red food coloring. I only want to make a tiny bit of this, so we're not going to use that much. We're going to use just a little bit of toothpaste and a drop of food coloring. So we're going to go ahead and squeeze out a smidge of toothpaste and add a couple drops of red food coloring. And now we're going to mix it together and see what it looks like. It is red, but it certainly does not seem to have the right consistency. So we could make it a little darker by adding one more drop of food coloring. This one didn't really seem to work so well. You might be able to use it in a pinch, but I think probably the particular toothpaste matters here because the consistency of this one just isn't quite right for our purposes. It's certainly not cakey, it's very liquidy still. Now for our fresh blood recipe, this one is a new one I haven't tried before. I had an old fake blood recipe that I really liked, but when I went to look it up today, the website it was on had gone down, so this is an adaptation of another one. So what you're going to need for this one is some powdered sugar, water, red food coloring, and cocoa powder or carob powder. Now carob powder is a lot like cocoa powder, but if you have someone in your life who has a chocolate allergy, this might be a substitute that you could use. So we're going to do it with carob powder, but you can do the same thing with cocoa powder. I only want to make a small amount of fake blood, so you can scale up the recipe as you want if this works. We're going to start with the confectioner's sugar. And we're just going to go ahead and add 2 tablespoons of confectioner's sugar. Next we're going to add half a teaspoon of carob powder. Now I couldn't find my half teaspoon this morning, so I'm using 2/4 teaspoons. The next thing we're going to want to do is add 4 tablespoons of water. Now before we add the food coloring, we're just going to mix this around to see kind of what color we're working with. So you can see the carob powder has given it a very brownish tint. We're going to thoroughly mix everything and then add some red food coloring. Now the scaled down recipe that I have calls for about a teaspoon of red food coloring, but since I don't have a lot of red food coloring on hand, we're going to see if we can get away with a little less. So we're going to start adding it drop by drop and see what happens. So this is what our fake blood mixture is looking like right now. It's a little bit dark and a little liquidy, so we're going to try adding some more confectioner's sugar and see if we can thicken it up a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and add 2 more tablespoons of confectioner's sugar. And then we're going to go ahead and stir the confectioner's sugar in. And so now we're going to add 2 more tablespoons of confectioner's sugar. So next we're going to add a little bit more red food coloring because the blood cell has a little bit of a brownish look to it, so we're going to add 10 more drops. And now it's looking pretty good for fake blood if you're looking for a fairly liquidy fake blood. Now this will be a little bit hard to apply and have stick to you, so if you're need it to cake on, what you can do is boil it on the stove top for a little bit to reduce it down. That's probably what I'm going to do next. So I did want to show you real quick the consistency of our fake blood now. So it's still pretty liquidy, but it's thicker than it was before, and this is going to stick better to me. Now if you do end up trying to make this fake blood, be aware that since you're using food coloring, it will stain. Especially clothing, but it also may stain your skin temporarily. I hope you enjoyed this video. The tutorial part was a little bit off the cuff, so if you want to see a more put together fake blood tutorial sometime in the future, let me know in the comments. If you liked the video, I'd love it if you give it a like. If you want to see more videos in the Heyday series, then you may want to subscribe. And if you like crafts in general, then you can hop on over to my craft blog. I have other zombie crafts, so if you're looking for zombie nails or something like that, I got some stuff over there. Thanks for watching and have a great day!